Predict, pick, and prevail in your fantasy football leagues with Nick Giacobbe and Nick Cap. From breakouts to busts, superstars to sleepers, these are the guys that will help you achieve fantasy glory. This is the PrimeTime Fantasy Podcast.
Welcome everybody to Season 2, Episode 63 of the PrimeTime Fantasy Podcast, where we give you our predictions, our picks, with the hopes that we help you prevail throughout Week 13 and the rest of the 2022 fantasy football season. I'm your host, Nick Giacobbe. Joining me is Nick Cap. Nick, Week 13. Big week for a lot of teams. How you feeling?
I feel pretty good. I got one league where I'm not officially out, but I'm not far from being out. Okay. I got 3 that I'm probably locking the playoffs. 2 of them I got to buy in. And then the 4th one's kind of iffy. So,
all right.
Pretty good season overall, I got to be honest.
All right.
Pretty hype.
I'm making my playoffs in 3 out of 5. Other 2 just totally bombed the draft. That happens. One of them, all 6 playoff spots are already locked up with 2 weeks left. And I think the buys are pretty much locked up too. So that league, I almost don't need to touch for 2 weeks, which is really interesting. Another league on most in points, best record. No buys in that one, unfortunately. 8 out of 12 make it. So, kind of just got to roll with that. And then my last league, I have a chance at a buy. I'm tied with the person who's also leading my division, but I've beaten him. So I'm going to have a matchup with him next week, and we'll see what happens. So
I hate divisions in fantasy football.
Oh, I love divisions. They're fun.
Makes no sense.
Well, this league is fun because if you're a New Yorker or a Staten Islander, you'll get it. But there's a North Shore and a South Shore division.
Oh, that's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah,
I respect that.
Yep. So there you go. All right. If this is your first time listening to us, thank you so much. We do the show on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, and a live show on Sundays. This is our Thursday show. We give you the news of the week as of Wednesday night, and we give you a preview for Thursday Night Football. Aside from that, you can find all of our shows on all audio streaming platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Anchor. If you're on Apple or Spotify, please give us a 5-star rating and a review. If you'd rather watch and listen to the show, go to our YouTube channel, PrimeTime Fantasy Podcast. Subscribe to the channel. Drop a like on this video and any other video you watch in the future. Keep connecting and interacting with us on social media. PrimeTimeFFPod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Then Facebook and YouTube, PrimeTime Fantasy Podcast. Injury updates and news. First off, Travis Etienne with a foot injury. Coach Doug Peterson said he feels good about his availability for Sunday against the Lions in a pretty much slam dunk matchup. Etienne was limited on practice in Wednesday, so I think he's pretty much good to go. As expected, Kyle Pitts is out for the rest of the season with a knee injury. I don't know if the injury was actually disclosed today. I just saw that he was officially announced as out for the season. Last bit of news: Najee Harris with the abdomen injury. It's not serious. His status for this game, for this week's game, is up in the air against the Falcons. Pretty easy matchup for Najee Harris. Jaylen Warren is back on the team after being injured, I think, the last week or two, and he is going to play. I'll just say it now. Najee Harris did not practice today, and Jaylen Warren, I believe he did practice. So, Nick, first off, is Jaylen Warren an ad in all leagues at the moment for this Falcons matchup?
Yeah, absolutely. The running back position's thin, a couple big injuries, a lot of guys underperforming that you drafted near the top. So, in a matchup against Atlanta, if there's no Najee Harris, we know that coaching staff likes Warren. So, I think you do have to roll him out there against some of the tougher matchups.
Yeah, he has a really great matchup too against the Falcons. All right. Moving into the injury portion of the news segment, did not practice on Wednesday. Michael Carter with the ankle, Najee Harris with the abdomen, Mike Williams with the ankle, Matt Stafford with the concussion, Christian McCaffrey with a knee irritation. He is not 100% going into Sunday and may not play. Do have to mention that. Jerry Jeudy with the ankle, Cam Akers with illness, Juju with illness, Kadarius Toney with the hamstring, and Aaron Rodgers with a right thumb and a rib injury. Who are you worried about?
Michael Carter has me worried. I'm not confident he's going to play, and the way running backs have gone up against Minnesota the past few weeks, I definitely want a piece of that. So I'm not saying go add Zonovan Knight, but if we know Carter is out, we know Zonovan Knight will most likely be the RB1 over there. Mike Williams, we've already seen a history of him not playing, or his injury history outside of last year has been consistent. So that worries me. Palmer, DeAndre Carter, both good plays if Williams isn't in. And yeah, I mean, the rest of them they're kind of the ones that we've already known or, have been dealing with for most of the season.
So I want to ask you this here as my fellow co-host here. I'm in a league, and this is my bench. Latavius Murray, Antonio Gibson, Kyler Murray, Kadarius Toney, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Cooper Kupp, Paris Campbell, Isaiah Pacheco. I'm carrying 2 defenses, so I might just drop the Denver defense, honestly. But then I have like Jalen Warren, Zamir White, and J.K. Dobbins on waivers. And I don't know what I want to do because I feel like there's nobody there that I really want to like drop. I don't want to drop Pacheco. I don't want to drop Paris Campbell. I don't want to drop DVP. Don't want to drop, Gibson or Tony. Cooper Kupp, I'd love to drop, but the sliver of the chance that he comes back, I don't want to be the guy that dropped Cooper Kupp. So it's like, I don't know. That league's really tough. I think I'm going to drop the Denver defense actually because they have Baltimore, Kansas City, Arizona, the Rams, and KC again. Rams would be in the championship, but
yeah, I mean,
I think I'm going to end up dropping them. But then it's like, who do I pick up then? I just gave you a bunch of really solid names. I'd probably go with Jalen Warren first.
Who's your starting running backs in the league?
In that league, I'm starting Dameon Pierce and Travis Etienne right now and flexing Latavius Murray.
Yeah, so I would probably go pick up Jalen Warren if I were you.
Yeah, I'll do that right now, actually. But then again, it's tough. I'm going to pick up Jalen Warren right now, and I'm going to drop that Denver defense who has tough matchups coming up. All right. How worried are you about Christian McCaffrey?
A little bit, because I could totally see Kyle Shanahan resting him or limiting his workload if he is out there. I do think that is a concern for sure. But that's the CMC trade. Like, you drafted him, and you should be grateful he made it this far through the season healthy. So he hasn't missed a game yet.
We'll see. What if he's out for the entire fantasy playoffs?
I'll be pissed.
I'll
be so pissed.
I hate to say it, that'd be kind of hilarious because all the people that were dunking on it would, because people were dunking on, you shouldn't have faded McCaffrey because of injuries, yada yada yada. And then if him or Saquon was out for the entire fantasy playoffs, it would send the fantasy community into a tornado. It'd be
everybody was clowning people for taking CMC, saying, he's going to be down in week 3. Every time he goes and takes a piss, he ends up on the IR, right? No, it's dumb. So good for CMC for staying healthy. We're cheering for you, my guy.
Yep. All right. Limited practice. Travis Etienne with the foot, Zay Jones with the chest, Jamar Chase with the hip, Chase Claypool with the knee, Josh Jacobs with the calf, Lamar Jackson with a quad, Jones. I should have wrote the first name on this one. A shin injury for a Jones. I don't remember. Devontae Smith with a groin, Deebo Samuel with a hammy, Justin Fields with the shoulder, and Joe Mixon with a concussion. Why did I not write that Jones? That's going to really bug me. I don't know who it was. Zay Jones. No. Yes.
No,
he's up there. What other Jones is it? It's not Julio.
Mac,
maybe. Aaron Jones. Thank you to my roommate for that one. It was Aaron Jones with the shin injury. There you go. All right. Anybody you're worried about out of the limited injuries?
I would have been worried about ETN, but the fact that they gave him practice on a Wednesday is very unusual. So I do think ETN will find his way out there.
He probably ends up resting on Thursday too, I bet.
Yeah. Jamar Chase, hip, it sounds like he's going to be good to go. And then Justin Fields, we all know the concerns there. Like, he missed last week. We'll see if he can come out this week.
Yeah. Jacobs I was a little worried about, but I'm glad that he practiced. Full participant in practices, DeAndre Swift and Tua Tagovailoa with an ankle. So there you go. Alrighty, moving on to Thursday night football. It's the Patriots and the Bills. Big game on Thursday night. We haven't had a good Thursday night game in a while. So big game on Thursday night.
We had a few good ones. Minnesota Patriots was a good one. This is why the league.
No. Minnesota Patriots does not count as a Thursday night game. That's Thanksgiving. Doesn't count.
Anyway,
I'm talking about a single Thursday night game. They're mostly terrible.
Can I tell you the absurdity that is the schedule makers?
Sure.
So here's what the Patriots schedule was, right? Bye week, Thursday night football. Oh no, bye week, New York Jets, short week for the Thursday night game against Minnesota. And then they become like the first team in NFL history to have a back-to-back Thursday night games, which pretty much means they didn't get a short week. And then they're going to probably get an extended week next week because they'll play on Sunday. Some nonsense for the Patriots. They're just upset they can't catch my New York Jets for this playoffs this year.
Well, We'll see about that. I haven't seen the Patriots schedule, but I know your Jets have a real bunch of winners coming up. They got some real winners on the schedule.
We got through the hard games, baby.
You did get through the hard games, and you won a bunch of hard games, so we'll give them credit for that. All right. Josh Allen, 20.2 fantasy points. This is projection. What are we thinking here?
You got to always smash the over on Allen. And as much as I don't like the New England matchup, Kirk Cousins played a pretty damn good game against them last week.
Last time he faced the Pats this season, I forget. I'm looking right now. No, they haven't. They have not played the Pats. I just feel like he's one of those guys who always smash the over. I'm with you on that one. How about Mac Jones at 13.3?
He just played his best game of the season last week. He will not repeat that, but he still will go over 13. That's too low of a line. And the Bills allow a lot of points to quarterbacks, surprisingly enough.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go with the running backs. Devin Singletary, 10.6.
No way. It's touchdown or bust, and even with a touchdown, he could finish under that.
Even with a touchdown, he may only end up with like 9. So
yeah,
I'll go with the under. Ramondre Stevenson, 19.1, and Damian Harris has already been ruled out.
It's a very high number, but if you told me to pick a projection, I would have said somewhere between 18 and 20. So it's going to be on one of the two sides, but I think it's going to be very close to that number.
I give him like 16, so I'm going to say the under. How about Stephon Diggs, 18.2? I believe is the number one wide receiver in fantasy football right now in terms of points. I think I saw that.
Yes, sir. I would take the under here. He's been a little bit more inconsistent. Even though he is the wide receiver one, that ceiling is very high. I'm not in love with this. And the Patriots have been pretty good to wide receiver.
Yeah, you're right about that. I would also hit the under on that. How about Gabriel Davis, his partner in crime? 11.1. I should say it's 11.1.
That's a same thing. Like he's just been so inconsistent, but his ceiling's so high. I think I'm going to take the under here as well.
Yeah.
I don't like the short week against the Patriots.
I don't love it either. I'll say he gets 12.
I think most of the points in this game for the Bills are going to come from Allen on the ground. Like I think I'm escaping Matt Judon.
Yeah. All right. Jacoby Myers at 12.
Good line. I'll go over.
I'll go over as well. How about Devontae Parker at 6? This is a touchdown, basically.
Yeah. If he can find the end zone, then yes, he will hit this.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. All right. All right. Tight ends. Dawson Knox at 7.8. I like this over, honestly.
Yeah, me too.
They've been bad against tight ends, and TJ Hawkinson, I think, had like 12 fantasy points last week. Mm-hmm. Something like that.
I'm going to go with the over. Do you know if TJ Hawkinson has jumped Mark Andrews to become the tight end 2 in fantasy?
I'm not surprised at all, honestly. He's been really good since going to Minnesota, and he had that one monster game against the Shithawks. Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. That's why you only draft Travis Kelce before round 4, by the way.
Yep.
All right. Hunter Henry at 5.2.
I'm going to go over. He played a pretty good game last week, and Jonnu finished with 0. So clearly Henry's going to retake that tight end 1 spot, and Mac's going to need somebody to throw to.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. All right. That is our Thursday show. Some news and some Thursday Night Football preview, but that's all we're going to give you for today. We'll have a bigger show tomorrow for Friday. All boom, all bust teams from yours truly and Nick over there, combined teams. And we'll have our Flex On 'em segment and some other fun stuff. So if you enjoyed the show and you're listening on Apple or Spotify, please give us a 5-star rating and a review. We'd appreciate that. If you're watching on YouTube, smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Share the link with your friends. Tell your league about the Primetime Fantasy Podcast. Keep connecting with us on social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, PrimeTimeFFPod, Facebook, and YouTube, Primetime Fantasy Podcast. Alrighty, guys, thank you so much for listening. Enjoy your Thursday Night Football game tonight, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.